In Donald Trump's America, the line between religion and politics is becoming increasingly blurred. The president openly surrounds himself with pastors and religious leaders. Among young conservative men too, the Christian faith is making a comeback.
Well, I would say I'm a Catholic, I'm a conservative Republican, but I'm most importantly a Catholic.
For the American president, this movement has become an important segment of his political base.
A future for Trumpism could be exactly this welding together of Christian nationalism and populist nationalism.
And forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Clayton, Christian and Logan are young, conservative and Catholic. Christianity shapes their daily lives, their values and their view of America.
Catholicism is the starting point. We get our morality, our values from the Catholic Church, from the Bible.
I meet the three friends for the first time at CPAC, the largest conservative Republican gathering in the US. Religious symbols are everywhere here, and that's not a coincidence. Dr. Stephen Schneck is an expert on religion and politics and taught at the Catholic University of America.
Joe Biden won the Catholic vote in 2020. Trump won it in 2024. So the Catholic vote swings. I mean, if Trump loses the Catholic vote, the Republicans are toast for the midterms. The Republicans are toast for the 2028 election. The people around Trump realize that if there's going to be a future for Trumpism, if there's a post-Trump conservatism in the United States, it could be exactly this welding together of Christian nationalism around evangelical Christianity on one side and populist nationalism on the other side, and those two things fuse together.
Generation Z had long been considered the least religious generation in American history. That has clearly changed. Christian has invited us to his home, a farm in Maryland.
Yeah, this is all my whenever I get a political thing, I throw it up here because it's kind of like my trophy shelf right there. I did a little jujitsu. This is a gold jujitsu medal I got. Yeah, so you gotta have your gotta be strong in faith, intellect, and physical prowess. So
he says he often feels misunderstood.
I'm out there volunteering. I'm in my church. I'm out here helping door knocking and everything. I'm not going out there like doing call to violence.
Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA and one of the country's best-known conservative activists, was shot and killed last year at an event in Utah, shocking many young conservatives.
There's another conservative person that's getting shot at or trying to be killed. Seeing somebody that I'd grown up with watching just be brutally murdered on TV, and then such a lack of a response from conservative leaders afterwards was really disheartening, I'd say.
What do you mean by lack of response? What would you have wished for?
That's a hard one, but you see there's such a real political divide nowadays, and I remember distinctly that there are these videos, of course, of people celebrating it happening.
For the three young Americans, the Christian faith is an integral part of their identity. Their journey did not begin with certainties, but with questions.
I was thinking, we've got all these denominations. Which one's the right one? I don't want to be wrong. But something really resonated, right? It was sort of this this sense of purpose that they were imbuing in me when they started talking about Christ and going out into the world.
Because I think one of the important things the Catholic Church brings to people in general, especially young men, is a tradition and structure that other faiths don't have.
They describe a generation rich in material possessions that still struggles to find meaning.
In America, it feels like we have everything. So we have all of these things, pretty much everything we could want, all the comforts we could want, but you have this depression problem with Gen Z, and it's like, why does that exist? If we can have anything that we want materially, Why do you have this depression problem, right? Why do you have these high suicide rates? Why do you have these, terrible tragedies where someone goes off and kills a bunch of people? We know that we're missing something deeper in our soul.
Faith now guides many of their everyday decisions.
Sometimes you got to cut a little bit of the people out that aren't really helping you foster a real good faith in your life. The more deep in my faith I get, the more alienated you are from modern society. It becomes a real issue because, I don't actually want to talk about like a lot of sex.
People aren't really having kids anymore. Whereas, people used to get married younger. You'd get a house young because the economy was good enough for it. You'd buy a car, you could raise a young family. You don't really see that anymore.
Faith also shapes their opinions on some of the country's most controversial issues.
Life does start at conception. These are issues that shouldn't really be debated. They're just, one is true, one is wrong, one is evil, one is good.
Christian's father believes the pandemic also played a major role.
If you look at it, we went through COVID. They were isolated. It changed the dynamics of our economy. In getting jobs, most of their jobs are remote, so they're not getting that social interaction with people of their own age. It gives them a sense of community. It gives them a sense of purpose, meaning.
Father Brian Nolan is a priest at the church the three regularly attend.
Young men are just showing up and saying, I want to be Catholic. My experience when the young men come is they're realizing that faith has been revealed, and they're attractive to clarity, to God has been revealed. They're attracted to clarity that's not just up to me to figure it out, but also that there's revelation that's been around, especially in the Catholic Church for 2,000 years. Revelation, so there's a depth, there's a timelessness of truths that many people are drawn to.
A recent Gallup poll shows that religion is becoming much more prevalent among young men in the United States, with 42% calling religion very important in their lives. That's up from 28% 2 years earlier. Among young Republican men, the percentage of those who attend church at least once a month has risen from 40 to 52% since 2018. But not all Christian congregations in the US see eye to eye with the increasing number of these young conservatives. Liberal and moderate churches warn that religion is becoming increasingly politicized.
The Catholic Church in the United States has been probably the most outspoken critic of the Trump administration in regards to some of the cruelty and excesses of the war on immigrants. For example, the Episcopal bishop here in Washington, Marion Budde, was one of the first most outspoken critics of the Trump administration.
In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. The vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away.
Pope Leo XIV has also increasingly distanced himself from President Trump. Most recently, they clashed over the war in Iran.
I have no fear, neither the Trump administration nor speaking out loudly about the message of the gospel. And that's what I believe.
Pope Leo has moral authority that transcends whatever political authority Trump might have in this world. I think the Pope Leo XIV, is probably Trump's biggest problem right now.
Even among young conservative Catholics, support for Donald Trump has its limits.
Trump is, I thought he was a great leader. I think he was phenomenal in 2016. I disagree with some of the stuff he's doing right now. And unfortunately, wearing a MAGA hat's not going to get me into heaven.
Logan converted to Catholicism just a year ago.
He just came home and he was more thoughtful in his words. You could just tell something was different. That's why went to the Catholic Church myself. I just saw something different, and I was like, what are they feeding him there? Because he's a different boy. The way he spoke, he just matured overnight.
I'm just so happy for both of them because they've found something that makes them truly happy, and it's wonderful. I've got to witness this whole journey. I think Logan and his friends are just looking for, like Kevin said, they're looking for tradition. They're looking for more conservative values, and I think Catholicism offers that for them.
This evening he will take part in an important ritual.
I feel fantastic. This is a very exciting moment in my faith journey that I get to join my brother knights. I'm a first degree knight right now, and I'm getting exemplified as a third degree knight.
What does it mean exactly? Explain it to our international audience.
Being a knight it's a brotherhood.
Carry it with you always and pray as often as you can. Carry it with you always and pray with you as much as you can.
It's one of the reasons it's so important that we see Gen Z, coming into the Catholic faith, not only because their souls are being saved, but because when they come into the Catholic faith specifically, it's having this snowball effect on others. And it's pulling others out of these decadent, hedonistic lifestyles into something that matters. And as that continues in the next few years, you're going to see a real change in the country where it is this return to traditional values.
For an increasing number of young American men, Christianity offers identity, structure, confidence, and a sense of belonging in a time of growing uncertainty.